Good morning. Good morning. Happy Sunday. Welcome back to Brunch B.S. for another week. Appreciate all of you being here so much. I know folks have already started to join in the chat, which I appreciate so much. I wanted to talk today about pop culture, specifically pop culture anniversaries that are happening this year, because there are some really good ones, some big anniversaries that are coming up, like 50-year anniversaries that I wanted to talk about, and I wanted to kind of celebrate with you. So let's see who's been able to join us in the chat this morning. So first one in was Denise. Good morning, Denise. Thank you so much for being here, sweetie. Hearts to you. And next in is Captain Controversy himself, Scott from Scottsdale. Hello, Brunch and BS fam. Hello, Scott. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you for dropping the link for the Facebook group. If you're not already a member, I encourage you to join us. We get together on Facebook and on Messenger and would love to have you join us. And the other thing that he dropped is the link to our Motivational Tribe Jam playlist on Spotify. So if you're a Spotify listener and you're interested in listening to the Motivational Jam, make sure to check it out. And if you can, make sure to drop me any changes that you'd like to see in there. So any additions, any new songs that we should be including. So great to have you here. And thank you so much for dropping the link, Scott. I really appreciate you so much. And Josie Ann, thank you so much for coming in. Good morning to you and shouting out to folks. Now, one of the things that I did is I pinned a link to the top of the YouTube chat. So if you're on Facebook, you won't see it, but if you're on the YouTube side, you will. This is a link to the Helping Hands for Cruising silent auction that is going on right now. And it is only going on for one more week. So make sure to check it out and to spread the news and to share the link out, because we have a very eclectic group of information, of objects for you to bid on. So make sure to check it out. It's for an amazing cause. If you're not already familiar with Helping Hands for Cruising, where have you been? Because I've been talking about it. So thank you for being here. And please make sure to check out the auction. Shannon, thank you so much for being here, sweetie. Good morning to you too. So great that you are here and that you are up. And Eddie Lugo, yo. Thank you so much for being here, Eddie. I hope you're feeling better. I know that you had a trip to the ER yesterday, which is never fun. So hope you are feeling better and on the mend. So, yep, Brooklyn in the house, y'all. Here he is. I love how you put the y'all at the end. So it's got the Georgia aspect, but it's still got the Brooklyn. Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. And Danny Dizzle is here. Yo. Yo, yiggity, yo. Yo, yiggy, yo. Okay. Morning, Danny. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you coming in on this fine Sunday. And as I said, I want to talk about some pop culture anniversaries that are coming up this year, because these always blow me away when I see posts about it's the 50th anniversary of this album or of this movie or whatever. And it absolutely amazes me and it absolutely blows me away. So I did want to share some of these with you and get your input on whether or not these are some of your favorites, or if these are things that you have maybe never seen, you want to revisit, et cetera, et cetera. So the movie that amazed me, which is celebrating a 50th anniversary this year, is Taxi Driver. Taxi Driver came out in 1976. So it is celebrating the 50th anniversary If you have not seen Taxi Driver, I would strongly encourage you to check it out because it is an absolute classic in the Martin Scorsese environment, in that whole filmology and that realm. So that is an amazing one, and, just interested, who has seen Taxi Driver? Who is a fan? I mean, it's a classic. So oh, wow, okay, so Shannon says, "I think Labyrinth is 40?" Wow, I didn't see that one come up, but that would be a cool one too. And Denise says, "Oh, wow, that's a wicked one." It is a crazy movie, but De Niro is incredible in it. And looking at him now, he's so young in the movie, which obviously it's 50 years ago. We all were. But those of us who were around, because I know not everybody who's in the chat was around in 1976. So, yeah, there you go. So, Shannon says she's never seen Taxi Driver. Wow. I would definitely check that out, and I would encourage you to, because it is an amazing movie. The acting is just incredible. Winston, good morning. Thank you so much for coming in. Appreciate you being here. And he says his favorite movie is Labyrinth. It is a great, great movie. So the other thing that caught me off guard, because I remember when it was released, and that makes me feel incredibly old because I remember it. This year is the 50th anniversary of the album Hotel California by the Eagles. That also came out in 76. Now, I remember a lot of stuff that came out in 1976 because honestly, it was a bicentennial year for the country. So I have some really vivid memories from that year of parades and celebrations and pop culture that was coming out. So yeah, I mean, Hotel California is an absolute amazing classic. I feel incredibly lucky that I had the opportunity to see the Eagles live in concert on their Hell Freezes Over tour, which is funny because they called it the Hell Freezes Over tour and have continued touring all of these years afterwards. So, yeah, it is really amazing. So, yeah, Denise says one of the greatest albums of all time. I absolutely agree. I love the Eagles, love Hotel California. So, yep. And Rocky is another movie celebrating 50 years. The original Rocky, which you are right, Shannon, that is incredible as well. Way to make me feel old. Not my intent, but yeah. Okay. Oh man, always wanted to see them in concert, says Denise. It was incredible. Shannon says I was 4 in 1976, and the biggest memory I have is the bicentennial quarters. Yes, if you don't remember, they came out, the US Treasury came out with 50 quarters that were celebrating each of the states during the bicentennial year. So that was amazing. Now, Shannon, you say that makes you feel old. I saw something posted on, I believe it was Facebook or Instagram. I don't remember. It was one of the Meta, but there we go. That said, I was holding a bottle of Paul Newman salad dressing when my niece asked me who Paul Newman was. I told her he was an actor, basically the Brad Pitt of my mom's generation. Then she hit me with, "Who's Brad Pitt? If anyone needs me, I'll be at the senior center eating applesauce." It's so true. It's so true. There are things that just people don't get the reference or don't know who they are, and I think they're absolute classic actors or movies or songs or whatever it is. So, okay, so Denise turned 7 in 1976. I actually turned 10 in 1976. So, I have some really vivid memories of that. And Aaron is here. Good morning. Hey, Aaron. Morning to you from the tribe. Awesome to have you here. And Denise, you're right. Everything was red, white, and blue. That was actually the year that we moved to it was well, the school year that I moved to Deerfield, Illinois. So that was 50 years ago. It was actually 51 years ago because we moved there in 1975 when I was 9. And just have so many memories of that year, of the celebrations, of everything. So Shannon had had the opportunity to see the Eagles, and she agrees that it was an amazing experience. So, yep, Paul Newman, those blue eyes, 100%. I can't believe that people don't know who Paul Newman is, but then again, if it didn't say how old Denise was. If I said the name Paul Newman to my granddaughter, she would have no idea who I was talking about. If I said Brad Pitt, she would probably also have no clue who I was talking about. So, yipes. Winston turned 5 that year, so there we go. And Denise's older siblings gave you a thorough music education. That is fantastic, that they were able to introduce you to such great music. Winston remembers the Eagles. His cousins played them constantly. It was easy to do, and also, since obviously the radio was like a thing, 50 years ago, they were all over the radio and they were playing Hotel California incredibly frequently. Oh, you're right. The Invisible State Quarters came out in 1999. Bicentennial just had the date on it. You are right. State Quarters were after that, long after that. I just remember collecting them in like one of those fold out the cardboard fold outs. So yeah, so Aaron corrected me also. Yes, they bicentennial coins had the drummer, the fifer, and the flagman reserve. So yes, or reverse. So yes, I stand corrected. That was not the thing. So there are other albums that came out in 1976 that also blew my mind that it's that long ago. Stevie Wonder's Songs in the Key of Life came out in 76. So that's celebrating 50 years as well. TV show that is celebrating 50 years that people may or may not remember, but who knows? Laverne and Shirley came out in 1976. So a lot of people who are on here will remember. Some of you will not because you are so ridiculously young. But yes, Fleetwood Mac had stuff coming out then too. There's a ton of music that came out, but there were just some key albums that were released in 76 that were absolutely spectacular. Oh, your first thought was Laverne and Shirley. Got it. Okay, and you listened to the Eagles so much because they were trying to solve their conundrum. They put forth, take it easy or take it to the limit one more time. Aaron, that is awesome. And Shannon loved Laverne. Well, who didn't love Laverne? Absolutely. I agree. Penny Marshall was incredible in that. I loved the show and watched it on a regular basis. So Aaron's making Shannon giggle, which is great. Now, question about Laverne and Shirley. Do people remember that Laverne and Shirley was a spinoff from another show that was out at the same time? So do you remember, if you are old enough, who what spinoff, what show it was from? Yes, absolutely. Happy Days. Fantastic. You guys got it right. Good job, Denise. It was a spinoff of Happy Days. Now, there were other spinoffs of Happy Days. What was another spinoff of Happy Days that aired in the 1970s? Here we go. Let's see. Aaron says Cindy Williams appears in the videos for The Overlord by Black Label Society. Very cool. Very cool. And Shannon loved Happy Days, so she says yes, it was. Okay. Joni loves Chachi. Yes, that was a spinoff. But what else was a spinoff of Happy Days that was set in a completely different timeline? So it was still, not timeline like multiverse like Marvel does or anything like that, but the spinoff took place 20 years or so after Happy Days was taking place, even though it came out at the same time. And if you don't know what it is, I will give you a hint. It introduced most people to Robin Williams. So, yep. Shannon's got it. Nanu, nanu. Mork and Mindy was a spinoff of Happy Days. So if you didn't remember that, Robin Williams appeared as Mork on Happy Days. And he was so outrageous and so funny that they came up with the Mork and Mindy spinoff. So yeah, that's kind of crazy. Kind of amazing that was a spinoff, even though it was taking place at a totally different time and everything else. So that is my key, useless trivia. So there we go. Now, some of the other amazing anniversaries that are being here we go. Oh, oh, okay. Aaron said, I came this close to typing. Are you thinking about American Graffiti? About a minute earlier. American Graffiti definitely starred Ron Howard, but was not attached to Happy Days. I mean, there could have been an attachment to it behind the scenes, but in front of the camera, no. Now, another kind of anniversary that's coming up that's not a 50-year anniversary is Twitter. Twitter is celebrating its 20th anniversary. So that, I can't believe that that's 20 years ago already. But yeah, it came out in 2006. So Shannon says we can go back further, before I was born, 60 years to Star Trek. Yes, original Star Trek is celebrating that. So absolutely. Oh, yes. Cindy Williams was in American Graffiti too. So many people were in American Graffiti. Love that. Yeah, Twitter is almost legal. And Denise says, wow, that 20 went by fast. Yeah, it did. Of course, when I say it's 20 years ago, I'm still thinking, 1980 something, which obviously is so radically incorrect. But it's still tough for me kind of bridging that into the 2000s and actually realizing how old some of this stuff is and how long ago some of these things came out. Chef Todd and I were watching a movie the other day, and I said, "When did this come out?" Because everybody looks so young, and he's like, "This came out in 2004." And I'm like, "Wow, that's not that." Oh, yeah, it is that long ago. So, yeah, that's I think it was, what were we watching? Man on Fire with Denzel Washington, and I was like, "How is this movie coming out in 2004?" But then you look at Dakota Fanning, and she was a little girl in this, and now, grown-ass woman, so it would have to be a long time ago. So, absolutely. So, oh, Shannon, some movies uh aren't even that old surprise me at how old they are. The Departed was 20 years already. Okay, now you're making me feel old. I I still have, like I said, an issue when we talk about things that were like 20 years ago, because in my mind, that is not in the 2000s. For some reason, I don't know why. I can obviously do simple math, but for whatever reason, I still, even though I know it's 2026, just absolutely. So, oh, okay. And Nick literally watched Man on Fire last week. Yeah, it great movie, fabulous movie. So, Man on Fire, proof of concept for a big screen adaptation of the Equalizer series with Denzel as Robert McCall. Really? I did not realize that it was, trying to establish Denzel as, the lead character in The Equalizer. I loved the original Equalizer, and I also really liked the remake that they came out with. So those are great movies, though. Man on Fire, Denzel Washington, what an amazing actor. So, speaking of great actors. So, here we go. Well, that's the way I think, anywho. Very nice, Aaron. Now, here's something that also came up when I was searching for kind of what pop culture anniversaries were coming up. Um, Toys. Some toys popped up that were even older than the original 50 years that I was looking at. So, celebrating 60 years this year is the game Twister. So, I am not flexible enough to play Twister anymore, but yeah, classic game, but it is 60 years old this year. So, that blew my mind. What amazed me even more is that there were even older anniversaries for some of the toys that are still around today, like Play-Doh. Play-Doh celebrates its 70th anniversary this year. That's a crazy brand anniversary. 70 years for something that's still around. And from a pop culture perspective, Aquaman actually came out 85 years ago, was the original Aquaman. So there we go. And Aaron says, "Should we bowl for a chair twister?" I would have to do a chair twister, like, chair yoga or something like that, in order to play Twister anymore, because there's no way that I'm just not that flexible anymore. So, absolutely not. Good morning, Bruce. Thank you so much for joining today. It's so great to have you here. Welcome in and hope you are doing well. We are talking about pop culture anniversaries today. So, all kinds of different albums, TV shows, movies that came out. And these are just some crazy milestones that were blowing my mind and really making me feel very old. Which I mean, I turned 60 this year, so I probably should. So, what are you saying, Shannon? First talkie movie in the US came out in 1927. Okay, so next year it's going to be 100 years since the first talkie. Oh my god. Wow, that's an amazing one. So, here we go. Don't hate. I got a chair yoga book from the thrift store from Thrift Books the other day. I'm not hating at all. I am embracing it in yeah, I am embracing it. So, yeah, Shannon says, so at least there aren't any 100-year movie anniversaries yet. There will be starting next year. That is amazing. And for Bruce, today is a good day. Oh, it sounds like your daughter is in labor. Oh my gosh, congratulations. That's so exciting. Being a grandparent is just such an amazing thing. So, congratulations to you, Bruce, and to Cindy. I hope that your daughter goes through it with minimal discomfort as much as labor can be. And you also turned 60 this year. So I'm in good company. So congratulations to you. This is great news. Now tell me, is this first grandbaby or are there others? So we've just got the two and don't think there's going to be any more, but yeah. I actually got to hang out with my granddaughter. She slept over on Friday night and then was hanging out with us all day yesterday until after dinner. And now she wants to do things like, let's go to Ulta Beauty so she can buy makeup and she can buy products and things like this, where I'm thinking, let's go to the toy store, and she's looking at me like I am a crazy person, which is absolutely true. So this is going to be grandbaby number 2. Fantastic. That is so, so exciting. Congratulations to your whole family. It's a great new thing to be able to celebrate a new family addition. So fabulous that everybody is shouting out and wishing congrats. I love that. Let's think about some other things that came out in 1976. I can't believe that that's 50 years ago. So, what is Shannon saying here? I only have a grand kitty. Looking like human one might not be in the cards. I should have had more than one kid. That does increase your odds. That definitely does, since only one of my kids chose to have human kids and the other just has four-legged kind. So I understand that too. But you are a great, great grandmother to Jonesy, which is your grandkitty, her grandkitty. So love that. Speaking of like movies and movie references, where would a cat named Jonesy have gotten its name from? Can you name the movie that had the cat named Jonesy? And Shannon, you don't get to pick because you don't get to guess because you already know. You are very welcome, Bruce. Thank you so much for being here today. And that is just such exciting news. Can't wait to see pictures of the new edition. Yes, Aaron got it. The first Alien movie. That was where Jonesy was from. So I know that Shannon's daughter is that Alien is a favorite. The Alien universe, actually, not just the first movie, but all of them. And also the show that recently came out. That's all part of that world and that environment. So gotta love that. Gotta love that universe. What else? Let's see. So as I said, Taxi Driver turns 50 this year. Yes. There are other movies. So Shannon mentioned Rocky. That came out 50 years ago. Carrie. Stephen King movie, Carrie. That also is 50 this year. So that is incredible to me. The Omen. I loved the movie The Omen. It creeped me out. It was absolutely amazing to me. So loved that movie. And that movie is turning 50. So Shannon says, "Ooh, look at me, number 3." See, I can't see the numbers on my side, but that's really funny. And the new show is really awesome. I agree. Very cool movie. So yeah. Harry, is that amazing? I mean, Sissy Spacek was so young in that movie, and all of the actors, obviously, John Travolta was in that movie, PJ Souls. There were so many actors who went on to do other stuff after Carrie. So that's another one of my favorites, though. I love that movie and thought that it was just so creepy and everything else. Honestly, like most Stephen King stuff, the book is better. But still a great movie, still a fun movie. So here we go. The Omen and The Exorcist. When they came on TV, I got in trouble for sneaking up to watch them. I have to tell you, when I first saw The Exorcist, I was babysitting and saw it on VHS. And let me just tell you, when you are alone and, alone with kids in the house, as a kid myself, watching The Exorcist was not the smartest move that I have ever made. That was very, very creepy. Okay, so I like Ghost's homage to Carrie in their video. Oh, yes. Yes. So cool. Shannon, back when you only had one TV in the house. Remember those days? We were also the remote control. We only had one TV in the house, and the kids were the remote control. It was like, get up and turn on channel 2. So that is a memory in and of itself too. Now, earlier I mentioned Paul Newman. His cohort in crime, Robert Redford, starred in a movie that also came out 50 years ago today, or this year, I should say, not today, but this year, which was All the President's Men. Incredible movie. Incredible movie. And talk about eyes, Robert Redford. Oh my gosh. I mean, between him and Paul Newman, the two of them, amazing. And Chef
What
Todd.
the hell are you doing in here? Hi, everybody. Good morning. Good
It
morning.
is the disembodied head of Chef Todd. Woo. You're not going to be able to do that with the green screen.
So I know. So we're doing a belated Hanukkah today, okay? And I think we're celebrating all birthdays from like September through January. Anyway, so I decided to make some stuff. I made a really delicious 10-layer lasagna. That's right, 10 layers.
10 layers. Ooh, your face is disappearing, Chef Todd.
Hey, when that happens. Anyway, and I made vodka penne.
Ooh,
Yummy.
yummy.
Do some Italian beef. I made a crab dip. Crab dip.
Yummy.
Crab people. Crab people. All right. Bye, everybody. Love you.
Love you too, Chef Todd. Thank you. Oh, what is Aaron saying here? Watching scary movies while babysitting. What does this sound like? It's not going to go well. It never does. I mean, it's part of scary movie lore too. So if you remember, like in the original Halloween, Jamie Lee Curtis was babysitting in that movie. So, ooh, that was creepy too. Shannon says she was the remote. I saw Ross come in. Hello to you too. And the disembodied head, yes, 10 layers. He actually ran out of supplies and had to run back out to the store because holy cow, this lasagna looks amazing. And yes, the disembodied head of Chef Todd. Here we go. We'll make the Stouffer's lasagna I had Friday pale in comparison. Don't sell Stouffer's lasagna short though, Denise. That is some tasty stuff. So Eddie says he made the cut. Your birthday is the 20th. Okay. So we can celebrate for you too. So you got that crab people. Yes. That thing will weigh like 20 pounds. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And Shannon says that she's coming in for leftovers. So I don't blame you. We are going over to my sister-in-law's, and like Chef Todd said, we are doing a belated Hanukkah celebration because most of the family was traveling in December, so we weren't able to get together. So, yeah. No way that little tub of mascarpone is going to make a 10-layer lasagna. That is exactly what happened. Is he ran out and had to go back to the store. So on the next episode of Jen Streams, we see Chef Todd with the disembodied head just floating in the air. I had to return the green screen that I purchased because it wasn't wide enough. So it was on the sides. You could actually see the room, which is not what I was going for and not the effect that I was trying to accomplish. So I had to return it, and I am having to find a wider version of a green screen. And once I do that, I'm going to have to buy Chef Todd a bright green shirt because that's the only way we're going to get the disembodied head effect. And we can't go without that. So Denise says we need to get you one of those cruising shirts with Todd's head all over it. I love it. That would be funny. I got him for his birthday these AI pictures of Willow as a chef. So it's a set of 6 pictures. I'll definitely post them. But it's like Willow rolling pasta and Willow rolling sushi and Willow baking and all of these things. They are so funny. They are so cute, and they would make a great shirt with all of these little Willow heads with the chef hat on and everything. That would be phenomenal. So, yeah. Thank you, Denise. I think he's cute. That's true. And Chef Willow is exactly what we came up with. So you saw a YouTube video on B movies that covered Battlefield Earth. Yeah. That's a terrible movie. I don't know if it's celebrating an anniversary, certainly not 50 years. But that's a terrible movie. There are so many terrible movies that I tend to focus on the excellent movies because yikes. And Danny, we can't wait to meet you in person either. That is going to be fabulous. Can't wait to give you an actual hug. I haven't mentioned it before, but I do see that Nightbot is running. So if you would like to share out your YouTube link, make sure to put in hashtag tribe, TRIBE, and Nightbot will drop your link. So we can talk about other movies that are celebrating anniversaries here. And as I said that, Nightbot still said, type tribe to share there. You know what? I don't know if we are still going to Helen. I still have the reservation, but I'm not sure if we're going to be able to make it because really just because of my health. I'm not sure what traveling I'm going to be doing in the very near future, so we'll have to see. In a couple of weeks, we are trying a weekend getaway, so we're going to go to Nashville and I will see how that goes, and that is going to make a big difference in we'll have to see what happens with Helen. So Ross says best B movie ever, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Yes, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes is an amazing movie. That is a really fun one. I used to actually love MST3K, Mystery Science Theater 3000. And they would use some of the worst movies and make so much fun of them, and it was great. One of my favorites that they did was Santa Claus versus the Martians. That was a fabulous episode and very, very fun. So no worries if you can't. Yeah, definitely with the health problems and with the health questions and all of that. So we will see. Chef Todd actually has to go to Nashville for work, and he is going to stay, and I'm going to fly down there and meet him. So we will see how it goes with me flying and with us doing stuff for the weekend and all of that. So, yeah. Kind of sort of fun fact. Okay. The helicopter crash in Killer Tomatoes was real. Nobody hurt, but 100% real. I did not know that about Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. And Winston says that he loved MST3K. You worked on the live show. Oh, really? When they came to the Uptown in Minneapolis. You've known Joel for years. Amazing. Loved that show so much. So Danny says that mom said maybe we can come to Chicago this summer. So you'll let us know. Please do, because that would be fantastic. And you learned that from Svengoolie. Another great classic of the B movie movies was the Svengoolie show. Absolutely loved that. Well, we have our celebration to prepare for. So I am going to go ahead and cut out just a little bit early. So Aaron says MST3K makes Laser Blast 100% watchable. You know what? They made a lot of movies watchable that were not watchable. Santa Claus versus the versus the Martians being one of them. So let's see. As far as B movies go, your favorite is Rocky Horror Picture Show. Is that a B movie? That is a cult classic. So I guess could be a B. So your bro and sis-in-law live there, and it depends if you have time. I get that too. And I am also a huge Rocky Horror Picture Show fan. Shannon and I actually went to the 50th anniversary. Oh, she just typed it in. How can you not mention that we went to the 50th anniversary of Rocky Horror? We went when they were touring, and we saw a showing of the movie. And they also had 3 of the original actors from the movie. So Barry Bostwick, Patricia O'Neill, and Nell Campbell were touring and did a presentation. So absolutely amazing to watch them interviewed and all of that. Yeah, it was in its day, it was definitely in the B category. I totally get that. And damn it, Janet is still such an incredible classic. Thank you all so much for coming in today. I appreciate you being here. I will do my best to be with you on Tuesday and Thursday this week, and hope that you all have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your Sunday. Take care, everyone. Thank you so much for coming in today, and stay weird. Love you all. Bye.